Here I am at Tunstall. I'm at the top. And I'm going over there. I'm going to try and hold the camera. I never got a head mount so I could get down easy. But I'm going to try and hold this with all my gear or make 2 trips. So, but it's raining. It's not meant to rain today, or it wasn't yesterday. It's just woke up today and decided to rain. So I'll see you down at the cliff. Right, I've just brought my gear down with the box of my bag. I've just dislocated my finger, but it came out and popped back in. It's ever so sore. So I left my rod up the top to go get it because I was struggling. So this is the cliff you've got to climb. It's quite easy here, so I'll go up and get my rod. Well, it's easier to get down here than at Hompton. Hompton, you just have to look for people's footprints. Whereas here, someone's been ever so nice to bring a spade and they've cut steps in, top and bottom, and you just walk down that bit. But yeah, I'm down there. Didn't want to bring all these clothes because it's hot. But we're at Tunstall. High tide is 1436 or 140, 20 to 2, something like that. I shall check and let you know. And yeah, it's not bad. Ain't got to go too far for the water. There's a wet line here, so I think it's a 5.8 metre tide before you are stood in water, and then you have to climb up on the cliff, put your gear up there and fish up there. What amazes me, you saw how hard it was to get down there, but it's not so hard for a dog, is it? You wouldn't believe that someone brings a dog down there, let it excrement on the beach and leave it there. And no, I'm not picking it up. So there, I'll be back in a bit once I've carried this gear. I'm either going to fish down there or I'm going to fish right here, so I ain't got far to go. But if anyone else come, they might fish here, so I might just go down there a bit. Last time I was here, a chap walked straight down there. He knew where he was going, so I presume he's got a hot spot. So yeah. So I've driven there. My ignition on my van, when you go to start it, doesn't flick back off. You have to remember to turn it. I'm hoping it's just a spring gone in the barrel and that I don't need a new barrel. Got to have a word with my garage mechanic. And when I was checking the door of my van, this finger here, that knuckle there, that went ka-chunk. It popped out and then flew back in, thank God. But God, it hurts. Really does hurt, but I can use it, so I don't think it's not dislocated. But I pulled it out of the socket and that hurt. So I did that once with my thumb when I was fishing with my daughter, and she went, "What on earth was that noise?" And I said, "I think that was my thumb just popped out, but it's flown back in." So gonna start fishing, find a spot. And I think I'm going that way, just so I aren't near this in case anyone else come. Alright, see you in a bit. Just got the rods out and put the reels on. I'm sweating in this coat. It's not raining anymore, I'm going to have to take it off, I think. Oh, that's all that set up. Just got a bait up now. Bait's still frozen there. Never mind. Sorry for the movement, Graham. Don't make you feel sick. Quite a stony beach, this. Right, them and them. Get rid of them. Sick and tired of them. Right. Quickness of issue of first bait out is going to have to be squids, because you can pull it apart like so and get it hooked on. That's what I like. I never put the spill release on, did I? Did you see it? What a monkey. Bloody donut. Well, that's the third thing that's gone wrong, so let's hope that's that. Right, well, I've got a prawn on that one, on a pulley dropper rig. The first one I chucked out eventually, on the second chuck. These bloody straps, get on my wick. But they were free. Yeah, they were free. Can't beat that. Yeah, so the other rig had a bomber rig on, which I've just tipped off with squid. Easy bait to put on when frozen. This one's got a prawn, half a prawn on it, on a pulley dropper rig. And I'm going to chuck it out, and I'm going to remember to take that bloody spool release off. Oh, well, I ain't sweating so much now. I took that coat off. It shouldn't rain anymore today. It's still cloudy though. Hopefully it'll clear up. I'm at a new spot. As I said up the top, it's Tunstall. I came and did a recce 2 weeks ago to find out along this coast where I can get down on the beach. And here I am today. I'm actually fishing it. So yeah, like I say, if it's a 5.5 tide today, or a 5.1, I'll let you know. And I won't get washed off the beach here. You might not even get washed off at a 5.8 here, because it goes quite back away here. Whereas down there, where Hillston is, where that cove is really, I think, right at the end, I think that's Hillston. There's a dog walker coming down there, look. There's you can get washed off there at a 5.8, so you then have to climb up the cliff to fish it, which is that's something different and exciting, isn't it? But what I thought I'd do is I'd come here on the lowest tide to get my bearings. First time climbing down with my gear, with a very sore finger from nearly dislocating it. And did I tell you I'd nearly dislocated my finger? It went clonk, clink, not clink, not clink. What was the advert? Anyhow, not clink clonk, it went clonk clink, because it flew back in quicker than it come out. And oh, it's sore. I probably bought, after doing that, the wrong fishing rods with that reel low down. I'd have probably been better off, but with fixed bill. But who knows you're going to do that? I shouldn't be a for a herd, should I? If anybody remember her checking the old doors. But there you go. You are what you are, aren't you? So yeah, at Tunstall, really excited about this. Really looking forward to it. Holderness coast, but talking to a chap up top, he come and had a look, and he said it looks good, but he's off to Aldborough. And he said it's been a bit hit and miss. He said a month ago it was fishing well, is the word. But we'll see today, won't we? The water today is coloured. I can't reach that bluey green stuff out there, so I'm in coloured water. We've got a bit of swell, which will knock my rods a bit. So I've got to figure out what a bite look like on these rods. Well, I should know, I've caught fish on them, haven't I? I've caught 4 fish on these. Hey, hey. So if you're watching this one, you'll realise that the last 3 videos, possibly 4 if you let me count the crab, yeah, I haven't blanked. How about that, eh? The last video, Yellow Cross, that was just, I fished Bay 18 and then I moved up to the Yellow Cross and just saw the tide all the way down till I couldn't fish anymore, and then I went home. Had nothing else to do, so, well, I did, I got plenty of things to do, but that's what I decided to do. Wife was happy with that, so that's what I did. I'm going to sort my gear out now. I've got everything's just chucked about. I've got some sprats there that I'm going to dig into this here. Bit of ground bait underneath the sand, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have to get on with it quick because this water's coming in. and we'll see what we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll be back in a bit with a fish for you. There's plenty of places on this cliff where you can jump up and get on a ridge and start fishing. So yeah, this is an experiment fishing trip, and what it'll be like in winter when there's them cliffs are wet and you're climbing down. I've been told the mud gets sticky so you don't slip. So let's hope that's the case, but gonna have to try this winter time for a cod, aren't we? Bit jarred off of me van, but I'll go into that later. I need to get this sorted out and get myself organised and get a sandwich because I ain't had no breakfast yet. So anyhow, I'll be back in a bit, and isn't this good? Looks like tide comes in quicker. There, I'm going to stick these sprats in the sand now, so they let some scent out. Probably wasting my time, but old flies like your bait, don't they? The bait bag, grabby things. All I've done there is I've got bought loads of sprats years ago, and they aren't the best. So they've always been frozen, but so they'll be all right. But I tried catching cod with them at the Humber, and I'm going to try again. I've got loads of them, but every time I come down to the beach, I dig a hole and chuck the sprats, take them out of the bag, put them in the hole, backfill it. They aren't that deep, and they'll soon thaw out, and then they'll start oozing out oil, won't they? So I'm hoping it's just a bit of ground bait. We'll see what happened. I tried it at Sutton-on-Sea and got the bass, but I don't think that assisted me in getting the bass. It was just I was fortunate that bass was there at the time. There was no fishing skills there. So anyhow, I'll be back in a bit for the next instalment of Verns Sea Fishing. You might have seen there I had yet another problem with casting. Well, the problem was when I casted, my finger is so sore that with the force of pulling and thumping it out, my finger gave way, which meant I give way of the reel and it just went all to cock. And huge bird's nest, pulled it out, reeled in, cast out again, but this time I didn't go to thump it out. I don't know why I did that anyhow, because I baited that rig up just to chuck out past the third wave, see if there's anything close in. And this finger is going to be a little bit limiting for me today, so I've just got to make the best of a bad thing and just get my baits out so I'm fishing. I think if I'd pulled my finger out of the socket for it to fly back in up there and I had my fixed spools, I'd have been alright. But sod's law, isn't it? So yeah, but there, we're out. I'm going to bait that rig up that I've just brought in, take the old bait off. There's no bait gone, so there's no crabs out there, which is that good? People say if there's crabs out there, there's no fish out there, and if the crabs disappear, there's fish out there. So let's hope that's the case. So at least I know now, with reeling the first one in after the first cast, that the bait's still on there, so the prawn hopefully will still be on it, on the other rod. But oh, my finger hurts. But there, it's a glorious day. Sun's started spitting again a minute ago, but the sun's trying to get out through these clouds. I brought me hat, got my suntan oil, sunglasses. Quid's in, aren't I? Got everything. I carried water down there, so I've got 1.5 litres of, well, nearly 2 kilos of water, including my coffee. So once I've drunk them, my box will be 2 kilos lighter. But there, got up this morning, dragged myself out of bed about 5:30, took my daughter to work to the bus station at 7:20, and then came straight here. So I left where I live at 7:20 and got here at 9 o'clock, which I don't think is too bad. Hour and 50 minutes across Humber Bridge to Tunstall. I don't think that's too bad. Don't get me to go on about the road system with the speed limits, because I just think it's ridiculous. But there, it's all in the idea of safety, isn't it? So let's hope nobody ever gets hurt. kicking sand at me camera. Well, I haven't blanked. I didn't know it was on there because I've been talking to a chap down there. Where are you, my booty? Whoa! Whoa! He nearly come out of the bucket. We got ourselves a lovely little dab. Isn't that beautiful? It's that about 8-inch long, full of life. So we ain't blanked. That's fantastic. That's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions and I haven't blanked. I don't care what else happens today. I really don't. I've caught a fish again. Let's get this baited up and put out. Where's me? Where did I put my tripod? Do we get this little dab released? It's starting to rain again and I don't want to get my camera wet because it's the only one I've got because 8 man are letting me down. There we go. One little dab. What a booty. Go on, my boy. It don't hurt to give them a little chuck out. You don't want to be putting them down on the shoreline where the waves are kissing the sand because it knocks them back. I always think just give them a little tiny flick out. He's been recovering in the bucket and we got ourselves a dab. No blanks today. Excellent. We'll be back in a bit. I got prawn on the right hand rod. Cast that as far as I can with my finger. And this one's just out here. That's got squid and mackerel on. The chap that's down there, lovely bloke he is, spoke to me for about a quarter an hour. Give me some info and stuff like that. Said you don't want to be chucking out very far. 20-30 yards if that. He's using squid and mackerel for bait, but when I said to him I'm using prawn, he was quite interested in that. He thought it was a good bait to use, and I've just caught my dab on it. Now not only did I catch my dab on the prawn, I caught my dab on this. That's a 4-0 hook. It's a mustard hook, so it's a little bit smaller than a normal 4-0. Probably about a 3-0 to be honest. But I caught the dab on that. Explain that one to me. All the times I've blanked with small hooks, trying to catch flounders, dabs, whatever, and then I go catch a dab on a 4-0 hook. Must be that prawn mallee. I think you must be right. So I think it's prawn all the way. I brought 2 bags as well. I think on the little hooks I'll cut them up and put them on. But yeah, I shall be back in a bit. No blanks today. That's yet another successful fishing trip. We're now catching. My fishing capabilities must be going skyward. I'm out of control. Absolutely out of control with fishing skill. Either that or a shoal's just gone past, and I was quite fortunate that it just bit the wrong hook. So yeah, anyhow, I'll be back in a bit. Put this camera away. Started to rain. Flounder number 2. Well, flounder number 1. Hey, how good am I? Hey, did you see that come out? You should have done. That's a flounder, and that's even a good size to keep and take them. Look at this. I wouldn't take that that ain't big enough to go Some people might take it but I won't. Isn't it absolutely? I always say that you're always going to catch something when you come on this Holderness coast. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to just turn you off a minute while I get that hook out, because it swallowed the hook, and then I shall leave it in the bucket to recover, and we'll fire it back up and see it returned. Look at that. That's a good size. Look at that. It's longer than my bucket. Beautiful flounder, fat as anything, and we got the hook out, and it come on the top hook. Bait using on that was squid and mackerel. A beautiful flounder. Can't believe it. How much battery have I got left? Right, let's get a release. I think she's alright. Oh, she's stuck in that, sitting down tight on the bottom. Oh, I haven't took a picture, have I? We'll put her in there, and I'll bring you back for the release. Just going to take a picture of it. Never took a picture. Well, I think I might have done. Right. Is it going to play ball? There we go. Let's get a release of this flounder. What a beautiful fish, eh? I can't believe it. I ain't blanked again. Give it a bit of a been in the bucket recovering. I like to make sure that they go back. and there's nothing on the shoreline. No, that's gone. Yep, nothing down there. Hey! If I catch 2 more, I might equal my best. I think Salthouse I might have caught more than 3 fish. Oh, it's all been a rush. I had to get the hook out of the fish. It deep hooked it, but I used Billy's method of deep hooking a fish, a flatty anyhow, and from Fish Who Shore Angling is the channel you want to watch. I don't like filming it because I think I've done 4 now that have been successful. But that one weren't at the top of the fish, it was on the underside through that gill. But those hooks, they're little crab hooks, so I've only just bought them. And that had hooked it alright. And that was squid and mackerel. So I'm now going to put some fresh bait on that. And watch these rods. I must have missed the bite. I didn't know it was on there. And I pulled it in as well to a bit on both rods to see if there was anything on it, but who cares. 2 fish, a flounder which was a good size, could have measured it, but it was about an inch bigger than my bucket. I ain't bothered about sizes, I ain't bothered about weight either. Fish is a fish. Right, I've put half a prawn on now. I've got a pulley pennel, and that's it there. And this is the other one. I shall rebait it. That's a bomber rig. Clip down bomber ring, SRT springs on it, and I've got these mustard hooks, you can see in there, they're green. So anyhow, I'll be back in a bit with when I pull the next lot in, and let's hope I've got fish number 3. I haven't checked my rods to see if the tips are gone, you see, for baiting up. But I baited that one up with little Indian squid, bait elastic on with bit of a flap of mackerel. That's what I caught the last fish on. I'm quite happy catching flounders. I've got a prawn bait out there in case there's anything else. Apparently a few days ago they were catching rays off here, undulate rays and small-eyed rays apparently, or spotted rays, one of them, and they were only catching them about 20 yards out. Well, I'm casting further than that, so next bait I might just hull out just 10-20 yards. I'm probably about 40 yards and 80 yards out. That's no good if the fish isn't there, but the fish have been there because I've caught 2 fish. That's a flounder and a dab, 2 beautiful fish, and one was a fatty. So chuffed to bits. And I've got the hook out as well. I'm really chuffed that I can do that now. When I first started doing it after watching Billy's channel and how he unhooks the fish, I just watching me rod tips there. I unhooked the first couple alright, and then I had a couple that really swallowed it down, and I couldn't find the end of the hook either side the gills, so those I had to return back as they were with the line cut off as far as I could, and I went through the gills and cut the line as well. I was ever so careful. I held it open. It was like surgery it was. So the line was off, and those hooks that I used on those fish they rust ever so quick, because I was changing them all the time after one session because they were going rusty. So for those fish were alright. And I had one that I had to take them and give to the cats because that was in its stomach. But just lately I've unhooked quite a few of these flounders and dabs and done it really well, so thanks a lot, Billy. Thanks for your method of unhooking deep hooked fish, and I think it's the way to go. So I've got 2 more rigs baited up. I've got a pulley pennel with a Frio hooks on, and obviously my bomber rig. Quite chuffed to caught on the bomber rig. It's quite calm out there, so it's not getting tangled up. If you use a bomber rig in the river... Now, was that a fish? Or was that the wave? But my line's ain't nowhere near the wave. Well, I've been watching that rod and it hasn't moved anymore, so I don't know whether it was a wave or what. Now all we need is a bass. Smooth hound. But most of all, what we need most is dogfish. Because that'd be great. Absolutely fantastic. It'd make my day. Look at the coast down there now. I would say, Tom, can you zoom in there, but you probably can't. But look, it's kissing the bottoms of the cliffs. Time is 13:28, so we've got half an hour before high tide. So I shall be alright here. I don't even think it'll reach this. Apparently yesterday it reached here, the high tide mark, because there was a bit of a swell on, so due to that it gets up higher. So whenever you come here, you got to check tide. 5.5 meters apparently hits that cliff behind me, and a 5.2 could as well if there's a bit of swell. So you need to check the sea state, but today it's slight. Anyhow, I shall be back in a bit when I reel these rods in. I'm going to leave them 5-10 minutes and then reel them in and chuck out again. And this time I'm going to chuck both of them about 30 yards out and see what's there. But yeah, if all we catch today is flounders and dabs, brilliant. I mean, it'd be nice to get another one. It's always nice to get more. But what a cracking trip it's been. I mean, I've done that many fishing trips. I mean, you'll be getting fed up with me now because I'm catching all the time. But I've done so many fishing trips before I started catching. And I ain't caught a fish. And you've all carried on watching my videos, giving me the views. And I appreciate that hugely. It's been fantastic. I mean, I've still got good views. And I ain't been catching fish, so I appreciate. I must be doing something right. But I'd love to see a bite on that rod. But yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for all the time you've spent watching, whether it's a few minutes or the whole video. I appreciate it. And especially with me not catching. So I've rewarded you now. I've been catching like a fish god. It must have been that offering that I did at Sutton-on-Sea into the sea when I urinated into the sea for the fish gods. Wasn't it, Colin? That's what I reckon. So since then, my luck has changed. So yeah, that's what you need to do. Do an offering into the ocean. Urine's good. But yeah, thanks for subscribing. Please carry on subscribing to the channel. We'll do all that in later, or shall we? I'll do it now. Get it over with. Thanks for watching. I ain't going anywhere. Please subscribe if you like my channel. Please subscribe if you don't like my channel and just laugh at it, because I'm not the best fisherman in the world. Where's that mic? Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, ring the bell, leave a comment. I always answer. I might give it a thumbs up and then answer it a few days later, just because I'm busy. And yeah, please stay subscribed. But the best thing you can do for me to help promote my channel, because I think the algorithms ain't working quite right with my channel, and that's share it. If you can just share this video on any platform, but just tell them to well, don't just tell them, well, just it'll be linked, won't it? I don't know how it works. I guess you share it and it's got a link in it and they just press it. Anyhow, just share it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not interested in all that computer stuff. I'm a hands-on chap. I like to go fishing and make things, and that's it. My mate Tom, he's the one that looks after me with all the computery stuff and editing and stuff. And Thank you very much, Tom. It's much appreciated. I know I often say thank you, Tom, but sometimes I can't get a word in edgeways, and I daren't sometimes talk because my youngest daughter might chew my head off because I'm taking up Tom time. So thanks, Tom, for all you do, and we'll see you again, and all my subscribers in a minute. I'm not going anywhere. It's not the end of the video. I'm putting this camera away and I'm watching them rods like an orc. Because we want more fish, don't we? Anyhow, I shall be back in a bit. Well, I meant to cast that out just about 20 yards and it went out further again. It's just hard work, isn't it? I'll get there. Next rod will go out 20 yards. out then and I hit me other rod. The rod that I casted, I've chipped, but I can repair it. You'll not see it. Chap down there's caught a little flounder. Right, I've got a bluey. Got two small baits out now. I haven't been watching the rods again because I've been baiting up. It's a pain, isn't it? A lot of mist off the sea. I expect it's all on this lens. Let me just give it a wipe just in case. Yeah, so I've got two small baits out, and I've now got prawn tipped off with squid, and on that one I've got a bit of bluey, bait elastic up. They're all on, one's on a 3/0 pennel and the other's on a 4/0 pulley dropper. Yeah, when I cast it out, I thought I had the rod going over at the right angle because I was close to my rod. Obviously it comes around to the side, doesn't it? And I hit my rod. The right hand rod is alright, but the left hand rod, some of the high build on one of the guides on the side is chipped off. So I shall just pick that off, what's loose, and I've got some more high build because I've repaired some rods, and I shall just put some high build on it and patch it up, and then once that's gone off you'll not notice it, and it'll protect it as well, so it'll be back to normal. But none of the eyes, the guides are damaged, which is the main thing, because I don't particularly want to be replacing guides on that, not at this moment in time anyhow. I want these rods to last for numerous years. Next time I shall make sure I've got more room for my casting. Yeah, so Bit of mist coming off the sea. See it down there. You probably won't pick it up on this camera. I'll tell you what the problem was. I'd set the camera up and I didn't want to move because I thought that was the only place that I'd be on camera. So through filming, you chip your rod, don't you? Tom, if you can catch the noise of these waves, please. That'd be great. I think they sound fantastic today. It's been an absolutely glorious day. It's topped off with a case that I've caught 2 fish, but it's an absolutely glorious day. It's not cold. There's just enough wind to cool you down. There's just enough sun to keep you warm. It's absolutely perfect. Touch wood, at the minute there is no seaweed. So it's just glorious. I'm casting out, baits are coming back untouched, occasionally pulling the odd fish in, and no seaweed. And when you come fishing, you just have to make the most of it, because I appreciate being there more now fishing than I used to years ago. It was years ago, it was just come and catch, but now I appreciate actually being there in the environment a whole lot more than actually catching. Otherwise I wouldn't do it, I don't think. Just fantastic being there, and what a day. The wife is with her youngest daughter in Meadowhall. They're gone shopping, and I'm there on my own on a beach. But I enjoy this. It's brilliant. Absolutely glorious day, and you have to make the most of it, because in come Monday I've got a house to repaint and do some jobs to, so it can be let, and I've got to get it done because I'm on holiday at the end of August. So we want a few more fish, don't we? Because that'll make it even more better. Even more better. I think that's proper English. Well, I got one out long. Nearly lost that cast, as I said earlier. My finger give way and my hand nearly come off the rod. But it's out there. And the other one is just out short. One is bluey and the other is... can't remember. But there, never mind, they're both baited hooks. Gone a bit quiet now. The tide coming up, it you know, pulling out 2 fish was good. So we'll fish it down a bit. But I'm not walking all the way out because I'll be absolutely cream crackered tomorrow. But yeah, it's been good. Would be better if there was another fish. Forgot to ask that chap down there who I was talking to what his name was, but he only lives in them houses as you come into Tunstall, and he fishes down there every day, I think, the way he's talking. He's the chap that cut some of these steps into the cliffs to make it easy to get down. But yeah, nice bloke, really nice bloke. Gives you plenty of information as well. He's not, you know, information is there to be given, isn't it? Not to hoard it. He also said that on an easterly wind, this water gets gin clear. So if that's the case, easterly winds, if they aren't too big, nighttime fishing is probably best. Westerly, you get the water muddy coloured, so yeah, I'll get these rigs baited up and we'll carry on, see what happens. I'm getting tired. I don't know why, but yeah. Gonna reel this left hand rod in because I've either got a fish on it or there's seaweed on it. I thought he had a bite. I saw 2 or 3 knocks and I thought I'll let that develop, and then I saw a really good one and I thought I've got to have a bite on there. Got 2 fish. Look. Dab. Dab, the look of it. Right, better get these unhooked. There you go. One little baby dab. Look at him. Isn't she beautiful? Let's put her in there. Then we'll get the next one up. So it's the same way. Same gill, hopefully. Billy, I'm a surgeon. Hey. Bloody brilliant. Right, well, need to change the battery, give them a few minutes to recover, and then we'll get the other rod reeled in, because I saw that knock as well. A double yoker. I've just caught 2 dabs. I don't know why I'm whacking out big hooks, because the chap that was here, who was talking to me, he was whacking out big baits and he had nothing. Yeah, every time I'm putting out small hooks, I'm catching. So as I get this rebaited up, I've got small hooks on that right one, and I think the right one is got fish in it, but there. Right, let's go for the release. Brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it's getting a bit ordinary now, just keep catching. I mean, God, it must be boring to just catch all the time. Right, get the sleeve rolled up. Well, come on here, my little booties. There's the bigger one. Ooh! See him? I like to give them a chuck into deeper water so they can get off and they aren't pushed up with the current. Come on, my little girl. And the little baby one. Yeah, she's righted herself. Oh, she might get swept up on that big wave. Let's see. No. No, she didn't get swept up there. This wave will tell us, won't it? I like to double make sure that they go. You know, they've got a life, haven't they? They aren't there just for our enjoyment. Hang on. I do believe that makes it 4 fish. I do believe that might equal or better my catch since I've been videoing. And I'm chuffed to bits with that. 3 dabs and 1 flounder. So I'll get that baited up. And let's reel that other rod in. Put your back over here. Well, that was all a bit exciting, wasn't it? On that rod that I just reeled in, the bait on the bottom hook had gone. So someone must have bit it off. It was just a bit of bluey that I hooked on. Didn't bait elastic it or anything. Just hooked it on. And that was gone. But yeah, 3 dabs and a flounder. Brilliant. It's catching as the tide's going down. So I'm going to put that big rig away. Well, no, I might keep that, and when I reel in, no, I'll put the pulley dropper away. I'm going to keep the pulley pennel out. So I've got both rods fishing small hooks, and what I shall do is just have one rig out there. It's got 3 hooks on it, so it's nothing too major. If there's a bass out there or smooth hound or something, it might pick it up. But I'm now going to fish squid and flounders and that like them, don't they? I caught a dab on the prawn and that was it. But it's an exciting bait to use, as far as bait gets exciting, you know. It's not like the first time you drive your car, or you first time you go out on the drink, or your first, but you know, it's none of that. But yeah, I was considering packing up and going because it was so quiet. Just got to put them right size hooks out there, ain't you, in the bait, and hopefully things will get better. If I can pull a couple more in, I mean, that's nearly, I don't know what's classed as a bag of fish, but I've got 4 at the minute. I think that last dab, the biggest of them 2 dabs, was in size. Didn't measure it. I just want to get them. Well, you can see what I do. I literally pull them out. If there's a wave, I'll let that wave wash over them, bring them up the beach, unhook the trace, straight in the bucket of water. And make sure the weight's outside the bucket so they don't get damaged. And then I unhook them. And then once they're unhooked, I leave them in the bucket for a bit to recoup, and then chuck them out. And they're both swimmed off. All the fish are swimmed off. There's no dead fish on there. So I'm chuffed to bits, really am. And that's not your smooth hounds that you catch down south, or the numerous dogfish that you get down south, I presume, because the waters are warmer. But if the big fish aren't there, there's going to be a flounder there, isn't there? So, or a dab, you know. And it's good. That's another blank definitely gone. That is my best fishing session. This is my best fishing session to date. All the seagulls are down the beach. You wouldn't see it, but I'm just telling you, the seagulls are down there. Obviously that's where Matey Boy was fishing. I think he's coming down tonight. I'm not sure. He said if he didn't come down tonight, he'll fish tomorrow, but I told him it's gusty winds tomorrow, so I expect he'll go home and check, and if they're gusty, then he'll probably come back tonight. So he said he'd keep an eye open for me. Nice bloke. I found this. Does this belong to you? If it does, it's there at Tunstall. I'll leave it there. If you don't come and collect it, I'm sure some little child that comes down here with the mum and dad will use it on the beach. I've put it up out of the way, wedged it in. But yeah, anyhow, I'll be back in a bit when these rods start knocking. Jesus, wet. Look at that. Where'd you go? Look at that! That's my first ever ray. Please tell me what it is. It's got spots on it. I think that's a spotted ray because the spots don't go all the way to the end. Look at that baby. Can you see that? "35 centimetres. What an absolute booty. I can't believe it. Jesus. She's alright. She's in the bucket. I caught that on a 2-hook flapper, one up, one down. I'm out of breath. I can't believe it. Well, let's get him back. Please tell me what it is. Is that a spotted ray? I knew I had a bite. I saw the bite and then I saw it hit twice. Kept it in the bucket so it kept breathing. It didn't come to any harm. I can't believe it. It's like the best fishing session ever. Has it gone? I was going to go home about an hour ago. I thought I'd give it one more and then I caught them 2 dabs. Now I've caught a ray. I can't believe it. I wonder what it'd feel like when you caught a ray first time. And now I know. Don't have to cast out 200 yards, do you? That was a 2-hook flapper. One up, one down. And I'm wasting my time with this. But I'm going to put it out. Get that baited up. I can't believe it. Oh, my gob's all wet. I'll have that for if I catch any more. Oh. So it's a dab, flounder, 2 dabs in one cast, and a ray. And it had spots on it, but the spots didn't go all the way to the fin. So I'm going to have to check what sort that is, whether it's a spotted ray, or I think it's not a blonde or a small-eyed. I don't know. There's that many of them, but who cares? Who cares? I've caught a ray. Let's just call him Ray, even though it's a girl. Well, I think it was a girl. Anyhow, I'll be back in a bit. I've got to calm down and get that bait back out. I might stay here a bit longer. The wind, I'm going to have to try and shield the microphone a bit. The wind's blowing this way and the wind is picking up a lot. I haven't caught anything else since the ray, which obviously you know, because Tom wouldn't have edited any other fishing with it, so that's a stupid thing to say. I'd just like to say, it's been an absolutely glorious day. The weather's been great. There's just been enough wind just to keep me cool, and there's been enough heat once the rain stopped. Never been cold, but then you dress accordingly, don't you? But it's been absolutely bloody brilliant. 5 fish I've caught today. I'm hoping for another, but it might not come. The fish might have died off. The tide's going right down. Its time is 6 o'clock, and I think low water's about 7:30, so I've got another hour and a half to go for that to go down. I think, I'm not quoting on it, but I can't get a signal there to check. Now I could fish, I wasn't going to fish this far down, but if I hadn't, I wouldn't have caught my ray with it, and I was nearly going home. Feel a bit worn out, and I've got a 2-hour drive home, or hour and 50 minutes, but it might be longer tonight. So yeah, caught those 2 dabs, and that spirited me on for a bit more, and caught my first ray. Can't believe it. Absolutely chuffed to bits. I shall Google it when I get home and find out what it is, but I'm sure you're all shouting at me, yeah, it's this, and if you could please leave it in the comments, because just because I Google it don't mean I'll get it right. So if you could Google it, if you could leave it in the comments, that'd be great. Bloody brilliant. 5 fish today. That is my best. That is my best haul of fish. Seem to be catching on black lug and squid. I caught the first dab on a prawn. Didn't catch any more on prawn after that, so I've stopped using that. I went on to mackerel and squid, caught on that. Caught on black lug and squid, and the ray was caught on bluey. First time I think it's the second time I've used bluey. So we're all in for that. I bought a load of blueies, and it cost me £2.50. I got 5. I thought it was a bargain. So yeah, so we're I'm trying to shield this mic. If I go like that, there might be something on the left hand rod, but I haven't seen a distinctive bite. But there, let's have a reel in. Wind's picking up now. It said that it would on the Met Office, but I'll shield that down there. I'm going to reel this in and see what's on it, and then make my mind up whether I'm going to carry on fishing. Well, I'm going to go down to one rod, and I shall walk it all the way down and fish one rod for an hour or 30 minutes or one more cast. I should rarely stop here until it starts getting dusky, but I'm not knackered. I've just had enough. So I'll fish one rod, and I shall be back in a bit to show you if we have anything on that rod. Nothing on that. That's the fishing done. I'm going to pack up now, and then you'll probably see me going up the cliff. So I'll be back in a minute. This is probably what's that black thing out there? I haven't seen that all day. Is that a seal? Huh. Well, it's not that hard getting up there. It's not that hard getting up, but with my finger hurting, I figured it would be best to do 2 trips. And if I didn't have a bag full of stones, then I could have done it in one. Tom wanted me to film it, so it looks like I'm going, and then I come back down just for the camera, but I ain't done that. That might have been alright. There's the path. That might have been alright if I didn't do this bit. I want to show you the view from the top. You have to be careful not to fall backwards. And obviously I need to go running to get some lung capacity. Right, I don't know how I'm going to get my rods up there. Got a rope there. That was alright. And that's me up. It's all my gear. Oh, I'm knackered. And that's it. It's probably the easiest. It's probably the easiest climb down and up. It's certainly easier than Humpton and Hillston. I think that's a seal down there, but I'm not sure. Look at that view. Wind's died down a bit now. Well, what a fantastic session. 5 fish, 3 dabs, 1 flounder and 1 ray, yet to be identified. Thanks for watching if you got this far. This has been my best fishing session to date since I've been filming, and it's most appreciated and very wanted. It's been a fantastic day. It's been a beautiful scenery. It's been fantastic climbing, scrambling down a cliff and up a cliff. Not done it before. And 5 fish and a ray that I've never ever in my whole life at 52 ever caught. I'm so chuffed. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and please, if you can, share the video, because, and all my other videos, just share them, because it'll just boost me. And Danny, don't forget to subscribe to Danny O Shore Fishing. He's a great guy. It's a great channel. Okay, thanks a lot, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.